Oh, no. I'm sorry to hear that, Bob. So first of all, I'm sorry I'm late. I just finished my interview with Hexen on our Circle channel. So that is why I'm late. And then I realized that I had not created an event for the shadow work check-in. So here I am to do the shadow work check-in, and I didn't create an event. Oh no. Let me just tell Bob I'm sending love and healing. Here's the video. Yeah. I somehow I did not do an event, Steven. So thank you for doing what you could. I appreciate it. On top of that, I realized that I could only go live from my computer, which I just figured since I was doing that already with Hexen, I would just go live from my computer. I tried to do it from YouTube, and I have to like download software to do it through YouTube or something. So then I was like, forget it. I'll just go back to StreamYard and we'll do it that way. So here we are. Hello. How is everyone? Welcome to Shadow Work Check-In. I realized it's been like a couple weeks, I think, before I was able to come on and do a check-in video. I'll be honest with you, this is not going to be a long check-in video. I'm exhausted. Peter has been sick. Today is the first day that he's actually feeling better. We got his negative COVID test results back tonight, actually. So I've been sleeping on this chair and on the couch and stuff, and not getting very much sleep. And I've done 4 interviews today with our circle stuff. So I'm a little loopy. Yes, he is doing better. Hello, everyone. Hello. He's not 100%, but he's doing better. So that's good. We're getting there. We should be much better by tomorrow because he did some resting and stuff today, but yeah, not good for my back. Exactly. It just like the chair, it's a recliner and stuff, but so I tried, and then we have a love seat, and I was like, okay, so last night I decided I was going to try to sleep on the love seat because this was just, forget it. But I have to have my feet up off the top of it because of course I'm tall, or scrunch up, or so then I was up at 3:30, and I had a long discussion with Pookie at 3:30 in the morning, and then I was wide awake. It's not very conducive to sleeping, when you're used to your own bed, even though I didn't want to get sick. So I was like, nope, not going to be sleeping in there. Go ahead. But no. Yeah, it's not a great rest for sure. So I'm pretty whooped. I'm a whooped girl today. As evidenced by the fact, one of the interviews that these interviews we are setting to public so anyone can see them, but they're technically for our circle, the circle that we have created, the coven that we have created locally. It is really for them to introduce the inner court that we have. And somehow I went live on Facebook for Mel and Mark's interview and didn't even upload it to YouTube. And I don't even know how. Well, I figured out how I did that now, but yeah, that was different. So now I have to try to figure out if I can get it to somehow upload on YouTube afterwards. I hate to say it. They're not here, right? I think I might have to redo their interviews, which they'll be so happy about. But anyways, shh, nobody tell them that. So here we are. How do you guys feel about shadow work? I know it's been, I'll be honest with you. Let me tell you how I've been doing. My shadow work kind of has been ground to a halt lately. And it has to do with, I think, the holidays. Yes, Reiki would help. Absolutely. It has to do with the holidays and the amount of busyness that I have, I have really been unable to take the time that I've needed to continue to really dive deep. And there have been things that have come up for me in shadow that have really smacked me in the face, like really smacked me in the face. Enough so that I'm like, what the hell? Like I should be better at this by now. I feel like I sure will, Crimson. I promise I will. I feel like I should be beyond this like surprise that shadow work is so hard still. I know it's hard. But couldn't add more to that fire yet. Yes, exactly, MA. And so again, here we are with the affirmation has to equal the shadow work, right? So at some point, I think internally I decided there's only so much I can handle. And so I kind of have put that aside for now. David! Hi, sweetheart. David. So I'm so excited you're here. Dave is like my first mentor. When we talk about, when I tell the story about meeting Margot Adler, David is the one who was with me when we met Margot Adler, like from way back in the day. He was the first person who initiated me into, something that wasn't solitary. I love David. I'm so glad you're here. The affirmations I'm continuing, I'm really shifting the ways I talk to myself for the better. Yes, that's good. That's really good. Again, though, because part of shadow work is going to be learning to forgive ourselves, learning to know our limits, right? Learning to be able to say, whew, okay. Even though in my head, I thought I was going to go much further this year with shadow, I got to a point where it really smacked me in the face. It was a communication issue for me that I thought, I'm beyond this. I'm beyond this communication issue. But I'm not. I'm clearly not. And so sometimes we have to just stop at that and sit in it and feel it and work that part out. And that might be all we can do. And that has to be okay. We have to be able to say, you know what? I forgive myself for allowing, this to be somewhat overwhelming. I forgive myself for letting some of that go by the wayside and maybe not reaching the goals that I internally had set for myself. It's okay. No, you're not. Shut up, Steven. You don't have to tell all of my secrets, my admin. Yeah. Well, and yes, that's part of it is I keep trying, right? And I am a person who's hard enough on myself. And I wouldn't say I'm hard on myself because I will take breaks. I will be like, okay, I can't do this tonight. There's only so many things I can do. But I feel crushing guilt. So on the nights that I'm like, okay, guys, I just can't go on tonight. I know I meant to. There's crushing guilt that I'm like, oh, I can't believe I couldn't go on. It's bad, but I still know enough. I love you too, Stephen. Cord cutting. Yes, David. Yes, cord cutting. I still know enough that I have to allow for, that fall. I have to allow myself to say, whew, that's good. I've done my part. I've done what I can, and it has to be okay. It has to be okay. And so that's kind of where I'm at. Their shadow work for me really stopped, not stopped, but it came to a halt. And I've been kind of circling in this same shit that came up for me. And I feel like it's kind of working itself out. Because I've decided it's okay for me to sit in the shit for a while. There has been aha moments that have come up for me that I've thought, oh, this is why I got smacked in the face with this thing. This is why, I was unable to get through the message that I thought I was getting through, but it turns out was not happening. And the more that I allowed myself to not move on, the more I'm learning about this specific issue. So, one of the things that I'm learning is that if you set your boundaries correctly and allow yourself to stop when it comes up and when the universe says, whoo, it's time to stop, you will learn that lesson. It will kind of churn for a while, and whatever that lesson is will become clear. Patterns only happen again because of the whole not letting yourself feel it. Yes. And we've talked in this Shadow Work series, we've talked about, how different it is today to say to someone, you're sad, you're upset, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be depressed. Sometimes you need to sit in that. It's okay to feel that. It's not okay to pretend we're supposed to feel good all the time. Sometimes it's just okay to sit in the fear, sit in the depression, now it's not okay to sit in the depression to the point where you're ready to give up, right? At that point, you have to reach out and say, okay, I can't go through this alone. I can't spiral, right? But it's definitely okay to feel bad sometimes. We have to be able to sit in that and say, okay, I need to feel this. And that is when the revelations come through is not when we see the rainbow and the light shines behind us and we look like we're ascending. Yeah, that's not the enlightenment, right? We have talked before about enlightenment looks like snot running down your face and you're puffy and red from crying for days, and you haven't showered for 2 days, and you're not looking all that great, and suddenly something comes to you and you think, oh my goodness, this is what I'm supposed to learn. And it's only when we're there. It's only when we're feeling it. It's only when we allow that to happen. Yeah, it is gross. Absolutely. It is not that pretty. I love the memes that, talk about how to be enlightened, and they have the light shining behind them and everything looks happy and joy. That's such a crock of shit. That's not how enlightenment happens. Enlightenment happens when we have lost everything else, right? When we have grasped at all of the straws that make it impossible for us to pull ourselves up. And we just have to sit there until finally something occurs to us that did not occur to us before. I think it can be both, but I get you. You're right. It can be both. There can be an aha moment that's a pretty moment, but for me anyways, the true change, the way that we are truly able to say, oh, this is the pattern that I don't want to repeat again. This is the shit that, I really am sick of sitting in this. For me, only happens when I've tried all the other happy, joy options, and none of them are allowing me to continue. At the bottom, my friend, the true transformation can happen. Yes. I miss you so much, David. We got to get together soon. You need to embrace the darkest part of yourself so you can be the best you've ever been. Yes, exactly. And that's the key, is to let that be okay. It's okay. It's also okay, by the way, because I've heard some people through this whole shadow work series saying, I don't know, I just feel like I'm not getting it. I feel like the shadows that I thought were there aren't there. The shadows that I thought I'm going to have to work on, these just don't want to be worked on. It's okay to say, you know what? This isn't working for me. And I guess it's not shadow work time for me. It's okay. I took probably a good 3-year break from doing shadow work because I had taken some things as far as I could take it. And I knew there wasn't a whole lot else that I could pull out of the shadows and actually deal with until I grew more spiritually, until I learned more, until I was at a different place in life. And so it's okay sometimes to say, yeah, I tried to do that shadow work stuff. I wasn't ready for the next step of it. And it's okay to say, I think maybe I'm done this time. I am someone who has a gift for shutting down. So this is a real exercise in being present with feelings. It's hard. It's hard to be present with those feelings. I'll tell you the story of, without revealing anything, because it was with another person. But my block happened with another person with our communication. And this person, I knew that it was hurt. The communication that we did have was hurt. And it was coming through as anger. And I knew I wasn't angry. I knew I was hurt. They don't teach you this stuff in school. Yes, that's true, M.A. Oh, so true. I knew it wasn't anger. I knew it wasn't. But boy, was it presenting as anger. Like I was so pissed. I can't even tell you. I was just livid. And I knew that wasn't what was underneath it. So I stopped, right? We talked, the last shadow work part, we talked about taking ourselves out of the situation for a minute, breathing for, I think we said like 10 seconds. Yeah, well, try a half hour. I turned on my app, my meditation app, and I typed in anger meditation, Insight Timer. I typed in anger meditation, and I sat through 20 minutes at 2 different anger meditations. I sat through like swearing at the meditation app because it would say like, this is not really anger, it's fear. And I'm like, fuck you and fuck this. My brain was not willing to let go of it. Everything in its own time. Oh, so much, right? My brain was not willing to let go. It was, even though I knew for a fact that it was not anger that was coming. It was not anger that was behind it. I knew that it was hurt. But my brain was just working so hard to defend itself, to the point where I was like, how dare they talk to me like that? How dare they say this thing? And I'm like, and anytime I know me at least well enough to know when I say, how dare they, that's my ego side saying, oh, I'm so much better than that. How could I allow that? Right. So I knew it wasn't the right thing. And it was just about killing me. And meditation after meditation after meditation, until I was laughing at myself listening to this meditation, because my brain was going, nope, he's just a jerk. Nope, he's an ass. No, how dare he? And through the meditation, I'm listening to it go, this is happening through fear. Let go of the ego, blah, blah, blah. It's going on. And my brain was fighting and fighting and fighting, 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 fighting. Until finally I shut the meditation off because I was like, okay, at least I'm calmer. And I was able to laugh at myself and be like, okay, idiot. Obviously, you know that this isn't anger. And called a friend to talk it through. And by the time I was done talking to them, I thought, okay, I have now calmed down to the point where I know it'll be okay. Because I know this person and I love each other very much. And we love each other enough to argue and get at each other. It's just our communication is so different that we have to learn each other's language. But it took a lot. It took a lot. A lot of shadows had come up, and I thought I was beyond that. Like not that, I was so great. I thought I was way beyond that. But I thought I had learned that lesson already. So then when it comes back up and kicks you in the head again, you think, what the fuck? I did this already. How could I go backwards and have to learn this lesson again? But it happens. It happens. It is a daily struggle. It is something that we will always need to work on. It is not something that when you fix it, you set it down and it never comes back. It doesn't happen that way. That's just now not how our brains work. I swear it's like starving that part of our brain, right? So it's starving. I think of Vampire Diaries. You know the Vampire Diaries, if you've ever watched the Vampire Diaries, and they desiccate themselves so that they go into this sleep state, the vampires sometimes, where they don't really, and it's very painful to go through that state because they're like basically starving themselves. But then they're in this sleep state. And then if they get one drop of blood, they start to wake up. That's what it's like. It's like the brain says, oh, wait, there is something here. There is something here that I can hang on to. And the ego comes racing back in to say, dun, 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 I'm still here. I heard this quote this week from Jonathan Lipnicki. I can feel poorly, but not poor me. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot as a reminder when I'm in a dark or sullen mood. That's really good. I like that one for sure. So again, it is forgiving ourselves, allowing ourselves to fuck up. And hopefully we get to the point where we can say, I'm sorry. I recognize that there was this shadow and I apologize because it came up and bit me and I didn't expect it. So I'm sorry that I reacted incorrectly. I'm sorry that I reacted out of hurt and I didn't recognize it. We have to go back to the beginning. Yes, there's more to learn. Absolutely. And I think, we're always getting better, right? So hopefully next time when this same situation comes up, I will recognize it sooner. I won't have to go through all of the same work that I just went through to finally get my brain to cut the shit. Hopefully next time I'll recognize it sooner. Before I react with anger. That would be great. And that's progress. And we have to see that as progress and recognize that as progress and allow that progress to be enough. So for me, I probably will be a little bit dabbling for a couple more days into shadow work, but not to a great extent. Probably for me, for this year, shadow work is about over because there is this lesson that now I have to kind of mull it through and be able to have that be enough. And that's okay. For me, I try to have my shadow work done by the time Yule hits. And there's a very specific purpose for that. And for you, it may be different. You may be able to do shadow work throughout the winter. That's okay. For me, winter is a hard enough season because I need that outside. As an air person, I think the stale air, and I'm not, I don't enjoy the cold very much. I've been trying really hard. Scotty is trying to help me. But I'm not a cold person. Even though I'm a Viking. So really, by the time Yule hits, I want to be wrapping up my shadow work stuff. Because after Yule is about, okay, setting new goals. Where do I want to go this year? Because then for me, the rest of the darkness of winter is about studying, is about growing. It's not about reflection anymore. It's about moving forward. And so then once Yule is over, it is much more, where am I going this year? What are the goals that I want to set for myself this year? What do I want to study? Because we're inside more. I will pick a few things that I want to look into, a few rabbit holes that I've been dying to go down, to really decide how I want to grow and what direction I want to go forward. And for me, that is right after Yule. That's what I'm looking up. Definitely look up sound frequency healing. I like that. Hold on. I'm writing that down, David. Sound frequency healing. Will do. And I'm sure I'm going to resonate with that because a very big part of my Reiki has to do with sound. I have about 6 bracelets that I put on my wrists when I'm doing Reiki because the sound of the clicks of my bracelet helps with my vibrations. So I'm really, now I'm curious. Now I'm going to be looking that up. Yay! You can see frequencies now. Yes. Yes. Okay. I'm definitely it. This is start. I'm looking this up. That will definitely be one of my rabbit holes. Because I will be ending shadow work, we will be ending shadow work. This is maybe shorter than I would want the series to go, but I had a couple weeks where I couldn't, do a whole lot of videos on it with everything that's been going on. And so I'm sorry if we're going to end it too early for you. This Saturday will be the culmination of the Shadow Work series for this year. So I am going to talk about the energetic cords that we were going to talk about, and then we're going to wrap up like how to end shadow work. Because then we will be starting some new stuff. There's a lot of things that I have on my list of things to do for the channel that we will be starting in the new year. And to help us kind of transition into those new things, can you do me a favor? Just pick me out a card to help me clarify what I need to do about my relationships. I don't even have a deck in front of me, Michelle. Do I? I always have a deck on me, right? But I literally they're all behind me. Because Tarot Tuesday is done. A card. Yeah, I knew what you meant. I literally do not have. Oh, well, that's not shuffled though. I can't believe I don't have one deck in front of me that I can pull from. Yes, remind me when I'm done. Because I think there's one on top over here. So anyway, we are going to start with Tuesday the 28th. Should be kind of a clearing out of of energies. Me and my admins will be doing New Year's readings, free New Year's readings. And that is Tuesday, the 28th. So make sure you join us on the channel for, we're all going to have decks in front of us and we're all going to pull a card for you for New Year's. So join us for that because that'll be about moving forward and what's coming up for you. And then in the new year, we will start. It's like everything kind of came across perfectly. The Tarot Tuesday continues, but we are done with the cards, 78 cards we've been through. So Tarot Tuesday kind of shifts focus in the new year, and we will talk about card associations, spreads, how you connect to your querent, all that kind of thing. And, you know, we'll see what series. I haven't chosen what series. I have a couple ideas of what I want to cover in the new year. So we'll kind of see what comes up. And I think it'll be really interesting. That's okay if you don't. Thank you, Michelle, honey. If you need a reading, Michelle, just message me. I'll be honest with you, it won't be tonight because I'm exhausted. But I can pull a quick card for you in the morning if you want. So join us for that. That's the 28th. I put a schedule on the Facebook page of the Yule kind of stuff that we're doing. There's a couple Yule books that I'll be reading. Yule, we are doing at my house. Several of our circle members are spending the night. And we'll be up all night on the longest night on Tuesday night, waiting for the sun to rise again. So watch for us to come on and do a couple different videos about energy and meditations and that kind of thing on Tuesday, which is Yule. And then we'll go from there. Let's see where we go. Saturday will be the culmination of shadow work for us anyway, for this year, for this series. I'm always available, guys. If you have questions, if you need something answered, I'm here. I'm available. You can always reach out. If you're continuing shadow work on your own, let me know. I can reach out and, help you out with whatever. Okay. Anybody have any other questions about shadow work? Anything that has come up for you that you need to know about? I appreciate that you all have been with me through this shadow work journey this year. Hopefully you guys have learned a little something. I have learned a little something. Enough to move forward when you are ready to move forward, right? And we'll keep doing new stuff. We'll keep growing together. I'm excited. There's so many things coming in the new year for the channel and for us and for the circle. I'm really excited. All right. Sending you some distance healing. Thank you. Yes, please, David. When you're going to be in town, make sure you call me because I would love to see you. It has been years now. Years. Like 4 or 5 years. That's way too long. Do you have any good shadow work spreads? Oh, yes. Yes. I will post shadow work spreads. I will post some in the Facebook group. Shadow work spreads. If for some reason you are not in the Facebook group, it is Mama Squirrel's Witchy Wisdom on Facebook. Please answer the questions. If you don't answer the questions, we aren't letting you in because the questions are really easy. Really, really easy. Post on Pinterest. Okay, on Pinterest. You got it. Send me a message. If you're on Pinterest and we know each other on Pinterest, send me a message and I'll send it to you a personal message on Pinterest. You're awesome. Thank you for all your help. Sometimes I feel like a wreck and I'm like, let's go see what Mama has to say. Aw, I love you too, sweetheart. I do. All right. I love you guys. I'm going to take my own advice and actually get some rest. It is 7 o'clock and I have been running all day long. I definitely won't let you in. Yes. So I am going to get some rest, and tomorrow is Friday. So tomorrow is our sale in the living room. And then Saturday is the next, the last shadow work video. And then we'll go from there. Yay. All right. I love you guys so much. Oh, Leanne, I love you. You know I love you. I love you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. And do your thing. If it works for you, it works, right? Good night.